Hi, so today I am just going to try to do a quick reading. I felt like doing a reading and recording it and maybe putting it online about it's like random stuff and unseen, kind of like currently unseen situations. This is the Steampunk Tarot, the one I'm going to be mainly reading from. I might also pull some cards out from upside down, the Oracle Dragon Fae, Chakra, Chakra Insight Oracle, or the Foxfire Oracle. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm also going to be doing wherever I put them, just like a rando asked for room to go with it in this room. I got this from like a place in Bowen in Queensland that ended up shutting down. It was a pretty cool place. They did some pretty cool stuff. She had just made them, so they were kind of cheaper because she messed up on one and got the line slightly wrong. And I'm like, oh well. Okay, so okay, so for people unseen, for the people unseen, the first one I drew, we have the Devil card. Kind of scary. So not very nice manipulative person. Could represent anyone. Doesn't have to be actually them. Like when I was seeing a certain psychic lady, she kind of concerned when she drew about it because she drew a card to represent my father, and it was that card every time. She was all like, "It's gonna lead to some kind of tower moment. That's about options, so I'm waiting for that to come." Um, the for a circumstance or situation within this, the Three of Swords representing someone else in this situation, like another unseen force that might be helping them. We have the Fool. The two things guiding or around this situation. Um, Within the situation, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles reversed. And for like an all-around overguide or overview, or someone all around, or maybe even someone who knows about the situation, it is the World reversed. Let's see, what is the rune that's going to accompany this? Be oh shit, no. We have this one. I think it's per throw. Woonjo, sorry, not Perthro. I get those two confused. Woonjo, a symbol of happiness, joy, indicating a prosperous and harmonious period of your life. Okay, so I really don't get how that all matches up, but I think the devil could be an unseen person in this kind of. However, at least a joy. I don't understand. Maybe joy is a person, not a thing. I am the shadow. You need to see the light. Lust, greed, rape, primal instincts, secrets, settlements, the shadow careers, success in career, and personal interest. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. If it is that involved. Let's see. This card itself kind of says to me like someone being overpowered by a certain force or a certain force trying to oversee overpower them or overpower them while someone's working on something. But this person is secretly weakening something and giving it like a vulnerable point or spot that it might already have been set in motion. Um, could fill us with fear and dread. Christian associations with evil. Apparently, it does not necessarily indicate evil. It confront the shadowy, instinctual parts of ourselves. Find the perfect balance of the angel and the temperance card. Um, I got the world, not temperance in this, so the devil, the fool, and temperance were the only three I got in this. Maybe things we don't like to admit about our own character and desires. Like, I'm not saying I admit everything about my character personally, but, you know, like, I'm a believer in the certain kind of empathy, the mirror empathy, or the Hoka empathy, which is kind of like, supposed to be certain people can look into people's eyes and they kind of like see their souls or something about them. And some of these people can kind of like reflect someone's souls or intentions or what's about themselves they see or don't see back to themselves. Um, Someone is advised to act in their own interests, which is interesting. Hold on. This mask is so. Three of Swords. Like, I had this mask on before. It wasn't even hurting me. It's just fucking now. Okay, so for what was this one? Something about the situation maybe I'm seeing. Um, got the Three of Swords. So a conflict or a struggle or a heartache or a disappointment, maybe an argument or someone crying or people separating from this unseen circumstance or things. Suggests the experience of a painful disposition or a painful domination. Matters to the heart or a prophecy or perhaps because of a triangle, like a love triangle or a group of three people. Um, Feelings may be successful or something might attentively be sacrificed. Like it says feelings could be sacrificed, but I'm getting they could physically try to sacrifice like anything to someone. Like maybe they're gonna try to make themselves more sexual by sacrificing someone else's fucking sexual bits or something, or steal it, or try to improve himself like that, kind of like Frankenstein, but not Frankenstein, because Frankensteins are made up of other body people parts, kind of like an envy or vanity thing where they steal these things from other people in order to make themselves look better, which makes these people like vanity change beings. But a change, it says you will find relief and realize that a change was necessary in the long run, but I'm not getting that from this one. Um, the card and the swords in the heart mean it was something done because someone like was disheartened by something, or someone was maybe something like a struggle that was done from someone who says they had to do it, or they make all these lies about someone and what they are, but they were actually just jealous, and maybe someone chose them over someone else, and this person doesn't know that they've done this yet, but when they come back, they're going to fix this situation. Um, and I'm getting that a third sword is obviously there, so like maybe someone else is going to be mad at this person too, someone who knows them. I mean, it could also be something about a face or a situation to do with face or someone's face changing, not like supernaturally. Maybe someone gets plastic surgery. Maybe someone tries to steal someone's face looks with some kind of weird ass ritual, and they disguise it. You know, kind of like in could even be. I watched an episode of The Simpsons the other day. That's why I'm saying this, and I was completely insane. But like how you get the string there and you pull it, and maybe someone says don't do that while they put you in psychiatric confinement, but then like as soon as you get out you remember it and you pull it and like this string starts coming around your face, and then you see an episode of The Simpsons, someone's face gets torn, it's like fuck. And maybe this person's even involved in some kind of alchemy or potions and they had a good ancestor, but this person literally gives this someone like a alchemy and says this is like actually alchemy and forces it into them with their power of authority within like an institution, and makes this person's hair start thinning and getting grosser, and then it goes back to normal and then it thins again because they're like finding a way to drug them with it again. and this person gets thicker hair and ends up looking like a different person or someone when they were younger. It's a very, very evil person. I don't know. I'm just mixing TV shows that I've seen with these cards and relating them to experiences in the world. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a situation to do with my mother when I was younger, where this is not a nice situation. Yeah, it's a bit full on, but also not full on because a lot of things are fucking worse than that, and it's easy compared to some people. But when my mother, like my stepfather, would force me to wash myself and touch myself in the shower in front of them, and like I tried to tell my mother to find out because I thought she might help me, but she hated me, and she was like, "Oh, you're just the whore that's trying to steal my husband," and she pushed me over and was being mean and abusive to me in this situation. And yeah, um, this is the present. It represents another person, maybe someone who this is about, or another person in this situation helping the person who is an unseen person. It's the Fool. It represents a fresh start, new beginnings, a key, freedom, like some form of courage, openness, or some trust or some risk taking. Someone who embarks on a journey with trust and a light-hearted view on the world, looking for triumphs and new victories. Um, Someone is shown standing on the edge of a precipice. Um, with like a rose in hand. It might not be a rose. I could see a shopping bag in this situation. I don't know why, but I see a shopping bag being relevant. Just like one of the old plastic ones you used to get. They've just got a shopping bag that's like an out of time shopping bag. Maybe someone who kept them from the past, like my grandmother did. Um, Cynicism comes with expressions, or maybe someone's cynical about this sort of situation, not because they have any reason to be cynical. Maybe they're actually kind of jealous of this person in some way. Maybe this person has something they don't want. Maybe someone broke up with them because they were mean to this person, or this person was broke up with someone and this person was friends with them and it was completely irrelevant. They just knew each other and it had nothing to do with them, but they blame them. Um, so a fool is unaware of something, so maybe there's something unseen. Maybe this middle person is even manipulating and made them both think the other person was crazy, so they didn't get friends because they were scared of these people together if they were friends. Um, New experiences, potential, a gate or a portal. Like I've been hearing a lot about on these online videos about something called Lionsgate Portal. It's supposed to be starting to open up in someone soon, which I thought was pretty cool. It reminds me of the anime where they got like the lion's fist and like yeah, which is kind of like they got the form on their fist, which is kind of like this one lore about certain beings who will like rip your freaking form out and punch you in the face with it. But that's just like an anime that got deleted and never made, which was pretty interesting. Maybe there's going to be a tree. Yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles, this is, what was this? This is, two things about the situation. So this is things about the situation that are unseen in a certain situation. Self-pleasure, so someone is getting off on doing these things to another person. Um, Humility, realistic evaluation, so maybe they were threatened by someone who, because they thought they were like, going to replace him in some specific role in the world or the universe, or that they were younger, or they were getting they were like too more attractive than them, or they thought they were stronger and they were going to be stronger one day, so they've gone on all these measures to like steal from this person and do these horrible things because they were threatened by someone. Windfall, or someone who is wrathful, will come into this situation. Um, uh, so someone who will take pleasure and satisfaction in their work and recap the rewards and what they have said so far. The rewards of your labors are going to look into someone and what they've actually earned and achieved in this situation. Not just like skimming over it or judging based on nothing. Like they're going to actually look into this situation. Um, Someone who actually worked hard to develop talents and abilities that they possessed. Like people think it just happened overnight, but someone actually trained for like years and years and years in order to do something. They didn't steal it. They didn't say this or that, which is interesting. They might have like got this overnight, but they spent years and years practicing it in order for it to happen overnight. someone who is capable without memory or without memory, a worried mother, um, a scared member of society. So maybe someone who is a mother within the member of society is scared about something in a situation. Someone who is realistic about their limitations. Someone's realistic about the limitations and that they've had features all along the way. So maybe someone features, like maybe it could be talking about someone who has quite attractive features, or someone who kind of like the features on a poker machine gets lucky, or like I like the poker machines because you go there and it's like, will I win? Will I lose? It's kind of like it's up to fucking God, or it's up to like fate or a chance, or like a karma to see if you win or not. But I hate when the machines glitch out and don't give you your fucking feature money. It's ridiculous, and there's nothing they can do about it. Um, Someone who should be proud of everything they have achieved, and someone who can draw great satisfaction from recognizing the journey to success. I mean, I feel good for this person. Like, success is pretty cool. I wouldn't say being too successful is a good thing. Like, success within a field is good, but me personally, I'd like to be like, if I'm known, I'd like to be not well known, like have a fake name and go under it or something. Like, that's why I wear a mask. I don't really want people to know my face. It doesn't exactly cover my face, but it's like, when I was a small child, I did rodeo and I was like semi-famous for it. Or I used to even do radio, which helped me like produce a better speech pattern with like having being autistic and having ADD. It very much helped me like get a better speech pattern, and even doing drama class when I was younger, and the projecting of the voice and all this of that is pretty cool. Some people with speech pattern disabilities who need speech therapy, not psychotic therapy, could be represented in this. Like someone's like, oh, they don't speak right. I think they're psychotic, but that is such a medieval motherfucking viewpoint on that. Like these people need speech therapy. I don't know. It's interesting theories. It's just I'm relating it to all real life situations. I really hope this video helps someone. Um, all these crazy theories. I'm just putting all this random shit together. Not saying any of it's real. It's just all like a lucid example of how situations could be or how it could be affected. From this one, I'm seeing a pentagram, like a pentagram drawn, out of like sage and ice and rosemary and a red string or a red ribbon. Um, this is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this represents an imbalanced person with something about a lot of weight and a lack of coins. Something that was not very well considered or carefully considered. Someone who is lacking in common sense right now. Um, Irresponsible decision making. Um, Concern with juggling, two different. Someone who is trying to focus on a single point or target. Um, Someone who might not be weighing up the pros and cons and risks associated with the matter. Maybe they should come back to it later, even if it is a sucky situation. They should like take their time and investigate the study and then like look at all the options instead of going into it straight away. Like even it reminds me of like a training situation. Like if someone has trained before and they don't know how to train, they might just start by whacking you with a stick, but that's no good for you. You could like damage someone and make them bleed out their freaking asshole and cause internal damage that will kill them over the course of 10 years. Whereas someone who actually knows how to train you will show you how to do the movements, and then they'll tap you. They won't hit you, and they won't hit you hard. Like they won't do that for like a year or two at least. It's all about perspective. Someone, just because you've been shown how to do something doesn't necessarily mean you know or qualified to teach something to someone. Like you could put someone in pain and like make them worse in the long run. Image of a smart rider. I mean, the Rider White Smith deck. Hold on, I'm going to show this card. I don't know if I did that for the last one, but this is the card here. This is it normal ways around. I have a shitty camera right now. Oh, it got better. Um, and upside down. And this was the last card with the Firkin, so it's like someone, the last one, the other unseen thing is someone holding a singular object near a gate or fence. Someone who is definitely making a plan, and this one represents the necessity of like planning actions and looking into a situation before you do it. There's also like an upside down infinity situation symbol in this, so maybe something is like something that's infinite. Someone has something that's infinite, but it's upside down, so it's like negative of infinite. So maybe someone is infinite and someone is jealous in there. like trying to take someone's infinity of something, or maybe someone will know each other forever from a certain day, or maybe someone's been around forever, or like the version forever is kind of relevant, right? Because if you only live for a day, then that's your forever. So forever is an eternity to that person. Um, but if you live for 1,000 years and you die, then that's technically your version of eternity or how long you live for. So some of these things can be relevant. To be like eternal or ethereal is a different story, but like I don't think eternity might not be the right word for it, but like the objectives of life is also so relevant. Like some people look at dogs and they say, "Oh, they're mods. They don't this or that. They're below us." But I'm like, they live a shorter lifetime, so it's kind of sad to only know them for that long. But I fucking love dogs and cats like they're equals, and I treat them as best as I can. And I kind of look at it as they can't do some things for their own because they're not used to being in society, and they were never like shown or grown how to do it over many generations. So they're kind of like little handicap called a love bomb things. I fucking love animals, man. Um, and the figure you must keep, someone who's gonna lose a figure. Um, all their responsibilities fell out of balance all of a sudden. Someone who will not be challenged, or has been challenged in the past. Um, someone who is going to just make a decision, just be like, "Vomp, yep," instead of going. That kind of contradicts itself. I don't know if I'm reading these reverses right. But the upside down person riding a unicycle on this is kind of like over a storm. It's someone who is going under or through or avoiding a storm before it hits, in order to get to the center. And then for like the all around of this little reading I've got here, like it's a horrible reading. I've got the world in reverse, and it's this lady again. I got this one the other day as well as the Three of Swords and maybe the Nine of Pentacles yesterday. But for this unseen all around unseen message, it's the world in reverse. So like the world upside down. Um, something that is trying to end a cycle. Um, something that's trying to stop something from going forward, or something that's trying to stop like another cycle from starting again, or something about like an old cycle ending. Um, someone who is intelligent, someone who is frustrated, someone who hasn't achieved what they're supposed to achieve in life yet. Something ending. Um, but completion ending. Sorry. So something ending. So it could also represent the beginning of a new cycle at the end of a cycle. I don't know if I'm reading this wrong or not. But I'm trying to reverse the meanings. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is definitely. Oh wait, hold on. I'm reading the wrong one there. So this is kind of like the upside down. Someone who is sitting upside down from the clouds, or looking down from the heavens, like sitting at the edge of heaven, kind of putting their back off, just looking down upside down to see the world at a different viewpoint. I don't know if they're allowed to do this or not, but maybe they are. If it because I'm like of the little light energy on the side of the card, maybe someone is wants to look at the world from a different perspective or view it differently. So they're just going to go to the clouds and look at it upside down. Hopefully they don't fall on their head, not like actually falling, but falling on their head. Um, interesting. So the staff, they've got the staff pointed down, but that means it's pointed up, which is kind of like a reverse of some situation, which is pretty cool. This is a woman in like I don't know if it's green or gold. I can't tell. Green or gold outfit. Challenges that have been faced and battles fought and won. Um, so what's the reverse of that? Challenges that had been faced in the past and someone may not have won, or maybe someone won. Will might not. I don't know. Maybe someone might not win something in the future. I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have lost battles before. I'm sure that's like the normal, apparently. But like maybe it could even represent someone who's not actually facing a challenge, who's just like not actually doing anything on the situation. Someone who thinks they're winning a challenge in the past, but someone's actually just sitting there doing nothing and like watching and observing and waiting for the right moment to act or do something. Um, Someone who is not ready to let go of something. Um, the end of an old cycle. Um, Old challenges or old enemies coming back, or being someone they're not supposed to be, or somewhere someone thought they were no longer. Um, they shouldn't be approached um, without what's the opposite of confidence? They should like scanning a situation. Someone who shouldn't be approached without caution. Um, Something that was not possible for someone um in the short time in like the short amount of time they had. That is going to be looked at again, which I thought was interesting. Maybe someone doesn't know about something yet. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe someone found out about something. Let's see. I'm going to do some clarification because none of this really made sense to me. I was just trying to make sense of what it meant and ranted about all these random ass imaginary hippie crazy folk situations, but I'm not saying someone's face literally fell off or it's gonna fall off because someone stole it and it was this horrible situation with these vanity witches. Okay, so three things about this situation. Um, Someone who is present in this situation, someone from the past of the situation, and someone who will come forward in this situation. We've got uh Melusine, love who you are. Melusine, love who you are. It's pretty cool. Um, in the present, there is Gaia's dragon, divine union, like something about or someone who knows Gaia, or Gaia's dragon was made by Gaia, or was like a dragon born from Gaia or some bullshit. In the future, Arya the Guardian, someone who is born innocent in the future, so maybe someone who will get protected from this situation that never happened because someone Arya finds this person before, like someone is born into a bad situation, they find it before it will happen because they take the rest tests, which is kind of confusing with all that's been said. I don't really comprehend it, but maybe I'm not supposed to. Um, Maybe I'm just doing a shit job. I have predicted things accurately before, like babies being born, people going to jail, all this random ass shit. But you don't really see what you're not supposed to see. Um, you only really see you're supposed to see what you're supposed to see or allowed to see. So Melusine, love who you are. So someone who very much was happy and loved themselves, not like an obsession with themselves, but they were happy with who they were and what they were and where they were going. Um, Maybe I'm gonna read the deck version of this because I have nothing getting accurate. I feel that this person had self confidence and they were happy with themselves, their body, but people could have mistaken like this happiness with self, like someone happy is happy with their self, and someone could have mistaken this, thinking they were like trying to be promiscuous or trying to come on to people or something, but actually this person was literally just happy with themselves and where they were, and like with like the strength or the looks that they were happy that they had increased their fitness, or they were like comfortable around someone, or they're like getting comfortable, and yeah, someone might have viewed this as something it wasn't. In the present, Gaia's dragon representing divine union, so I'm seeing like maybe a pregnancy or a hidden thing, a hidden person, like maybe something it is like a dragon. This dragon is like a black or green color, so it's interesting. The butterfly is in this one, so like maybe it's a time being associated with dragons. Um, it's pretty cool. So like something is standing behind someone or guarding someone who is like something to do with a dragon or a draconic being. I'm seeing right now that this might not be a dragon, but there is definitely a dragon there present. So maybe the dragon is standing behind the person standing behind someone who is imitating a dragon. I don't know. But yeah, and this kind of goes to the next card because that one's got like someone being pregnant, and then that one says someone who was born innocent. So someone who is definitely innocent to a situation and born innocent, and maybe someone who will be protected or saved from the situation that happened. or maybe someone has already been born innocent, they're in a situation, maybe they're getting out of a situation. Annie the Guardian in the future. I thought I said Arya, sorry, but Annie or Anna the Guardian, um, born innocent. So yeah, this person is born gifted or with a gift. So maybe someone is trying to steal this person's gifts or this person's gift, or they think like if I have one of these children, the gift will be passed down, but it doesn't work like that unless their gift was passed down from someone already. If it's their own gift or the gift was given to them without it being like a passed down through generations one, then it belongs to them and it doesn't work like that. Um, Interesting. I'm seeing again a dragon and a ripple effect, so kind of like a ripple effect or a butterfly effect about something to do with like certain beings or time beings, which is pretty cool. Um, there is a fairy present in this situation. Maybe someone who actually knows or sees something as well. Two different people, something about this situation and like what causes the ripple effect at its origin. Someone who can see that it is not actually supposed to happen, any of it, and something that will begin to be made right. Let's see. I'm getting a device or a tin with something sealed inside of it, being at the very, very origin of this ripple effect, like a container with all these runes or glyphs on the side. So maybe it's a ripple effect that's the ripple effect is emanating at the basis of like something that was opened that shouldn't have been opened. I can also see a key being present around this area as well. Um, yeah, so someone who was born innocent to or from a situation as well. Um, and this person who is born, it's a good thing because this person like has the gift because it's kind of like a gift from the universe or God, and they were supposed to be born, and it's supposed to represent or show someone something as well, which I think is pretty innocent or interesting. Like it's kind of like some people maybe don't see or don't question something. Like some people think something wasn't supposed to happen, but in actuality, something was trying to stop that thing from happening because it was supposed to happen and it threatened them. Like a situation like that, maybe. Like it's kind of like, why does someone see certain things? Okay, so from the chakra thing, the chakra deck we have in the past, action was taken leading to something that was someone took action against something, preservation, saving themselves or someone, like discipline or like a motivation to help people or save someone, like an action was taken, which I think is pretty cool. Um, Belonging, engaging, community, center, culture, tribe. So this represents family. So something in the past from an action, there is a family. Um, this family is supposed to be. There's two to do with this situation. I am seeing that there's three though. There's a third secretly. Um, this is surrounded by wings, so something to do with like wings in this situation, which is pretty interesting or pretty cool. I'm also seeing an area that is heavily covered in spider webs, with a tree. Um, Maybe there is like a wolf involved in this situation. And for the future, what happened to the other one? The throat chakra and self-expression, so someone who is not expressing themselves well enough. Um, Throat chakra and someone who isn't speaking up, someone who is trying to be like everyone else and be normal and conform, someone who struggles with like inner thoughts to do with a past situation, and someone who doesn't pay very much attention to those around them. I'm getting these as something as well for someone to do with this. No idea what relevancy it has at all because why the fuck would I? And okay, let's see if this will give us the final insight to do with this situation. so we have Transcendence, Memories of the Forgotten Self, and the Awakening. So a future awakening, but that's in the reverse. So what's the opposite of awakening? Um, yeah, I feel like this isn't going to clarify enough. But so we have Transcendence, someone who it's pretty cards. I know I love the design of these cards. Transcendence, so someone who transcended or went through something, someone who went through something or to another place, maybe someone who transcended time, like someone maybe there could be two sides of this. Someone felt so much hatred they moved through time, but someone else also who was like them felt so much love that they transcended time, like someone's love transcended time, bringing them to another point in time in order to stop something. Um, Memories of the forgotten self. So at present, there's like someone who has forgotten like a previous life, possibly before the transcendence or up until that point. Like they can't remember. It could be based off of a trauma or helping, or it could even be like a physical object, like I'm freaking hammer hitting the mind or something to do with mind and hammer. Like I don't know, maybe there's some mind hammer that someone uses against people, which is pretty cool and interesting. I see the hammer. Me seeing the hammer could just be relevant to my trauma with my stepfather because they used hammers a couple of times. But yeah, memories of the forgotten self, someone who has forgotten their self or forgotten something about this or forgotten what it was like to be innocent or has forgotten past memories and days gone about certain situations. Like, could be interesting. Um, the awakening in reverse, so someone awakened or was aware to a situation, so this could be reversed. It might not be a good thing. I'm seeing that this could turn around and the awakening could happen, but the awakening in reverse means maybe instead of someone awakening or knowing to the situation, they're going to block out the situation, try to not see it or ignore it because they don't want to or they can't handle it or they don't want to believe it. So someone's going to not want to believe something. Um, but yeah, they're going to be kind of like not seeing it, which is kind of like their own ignorance showing within a situation, which could be something they caused in the first place, which is interesting. I'm seeing someone who is unwilling to do something. Um, like, I hope it's not a rape because someone saw someone could do something and they wanted their own of that. Okay, so put these away. I kind of feel like this is not enough insight about whatever situation. Just a randomized reading, so it doesn't have to mean something to me. But oh, I know. I'm gonna use those books. I love those books. They're like $25 each, and they're the freaking most awesomest books ever. Um, okay, so someone who cares about someone in this situation. Message for or from them. Oh. Onward, you dashing romantic adventurer. Ooh, someone's going to be quite cunning. So it's like, onward, you dashing romantic adventurer. Look into my eyes. It reminds me of True Blood. It's like, sucker. True Blood. I love that show. But it's also kind of terrifying and ew. But still. Ah, and just the Book of Answers. I showed these books in another video, whether or not anyone fucking sees them, or if I'm just doing that because it passes time, and I'm like, why the fuck not? They're by Jericho Mub Jericho Mandybor and Gaia Elliott is the one I'm reading from now. Um, love isn't finite, it's an act of endless forgiveness that frees you from your past. So that could be very relevant to the situation and ending like a bad or a negative cycle of things happening. Um, Maybe in this situation, some people like be forgiving, be kind, but it's like, no, you didn't do that for these people, and you did horrible people, and like using that to your advantage, and um, yeah, like someone might be trying to use forgiveness as a way to get out of things, being like, oh, forgive me, but then someone knew exactly what was going on, what they were doing, and yeah, this is basically it. Is there anything else? What can I read? Okay, okay. A bladed weapon or a mushroom cloud in a dream, or a dagger, um, represents, uh, a dagger in a dream represents self-esteem, not necessarily violence, and a sword in a dream represents an archetype, or an archbeing, and a mushroom cloud in a dream represents, regression. So, going back, which is kind of interesting. What to do with a tree like those are kind of scary. If I see those in a dream, I'm gonna be like, fuck that shit. Um, okay, yeah. That's about it for my terrible readings today. Thank you. Bye.